Hello everyone, welcome to the LARP Tales podcast, the LARP podcast where we tell you our stories through live action roleplay. My name is Oliver, I'm one half of your hosting duo. With me, as always, is my co-host Robyn. Hey Robyn.
Hey Oliver.
And today we are continuing our recap of Menhir's Fate Event 4 of 2025. Before that though, let us do our housekeeping. If you are watching us on YouTube, give us a thumbs up on the video, please. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to the Two Having to Roll universe so you know when new content is coming your way. We always do LARP podcast, LARP content. We've got some other content coming up. Hopefully this year we want to do a new version of our What is LARP Empire as well. So keep an eye out for that. If you are listening to us on an audio platform, give us 5-star reviews. That just helps people find the content. I did say last time as well that I will be reading reviews. If you want to put 5-star review on and write something down, I will read it out when we do our next recap of our next LARP. I will only be reading out 5-star reviews though. And I will read them out. I might need to bleep some of them, but I will promise you that I will read them out. We also do have a referral code for Menhir's Fate LARP if you're interested in coming next year. As of recording, Menhir's Fate is going to be running 3 times next year. They're doing 3 events in 2026. Head over to their website or the Facebook page or the Discord server to check out when the dates are. We have a referral code if you want to give us a little kickback, and it will give you a discount on your first Menhir's Fate ticket if you so wish. And with all that out the way, let's get into our continuation, our recap of Menhir's Fate Event 4. Okay, so last time we took a lot of the episode up just talking about our new characters. We're in Avereaux. A new vibe for us. We talked all about weaving because we did a real cool fire weaving on the Saturday, but a lot of our game was taken up doing all these, preparing for these weavings. We went over that in the last episode. So if you haven't caught part 1, go check out part 1. We also talked about doing a dungeon for the Treasure Hunters Guild.
Yeah.
That was really cool. We went through in Mission Impossible style lasers, and that was funny and so fun. And we spent the rest of the evening in the Rum Locker, an amazing bar in Portavas. So on the Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday. So I'm trying to remember actually what we did Saturday morning. I think Saturday morning we pretty much were straight into doing weaving sort of things because we had to run around and collect things.
Yeah, we had an awkward monstering slot. That's why.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Where our monstering slot
it was in the middle. It was like middle-ish of the day Saturday, so
yeah.
It wasn't first thing so you get out of the way. It wasn't last thing so you're just like, all right, I'll just get into monster kit and then that's it. Kind of time out. But so we were kind of in the middle of doing stuff, weren't we? I'm trying to remember what exactly we were in the middle of doing. There was things that we were trying to ascertain. That's the thing. A lot of it was spread out over the weekend anyway, like the big fire weaving we did, which we did on the Saturday evening.
Yeah.
That was kind of more like Martin's thing. I was trying to, I was trying to figure out if I could do something with the garlic. That ended up being a no-go thing. I did mention in the last episode we figured that out. I went to the Adventurers Guild. Now, the Adventurers Guild are cool because they have been gathering information on the vampires. The vampire seems to very it seems to be affecting all the nations currently. So the Adventurers Guild I went to ascertain whether garlic did anything and what is actually going to be effective. Right, so I went there and I actually ended up speaking to one of the guild masters. This actually happened on the Sunday, but it was like a long, drawn out I'll just do a little bit of this plot, a little bit of this plot. So I went there and they have like a big board of like what's been found out about vampires so far. So I have ideas now for a weaving. Unfortunately, it's probably not going to be an earth weaving, but yeah, I spent a lot of time writing notes and I can't wait for next year to maybe keep pushing some of those little bits of ideas. Yeah. So Robyn, what were we doing? I'm pretty sure you're gonna talk. Are you gonna talk about the Griffin stuff?
Yeah,
Griffin stuff. Griffins.
So we had a lot of Griffin plot going on in Avereaux. So that was like our national plot that was taking up quite a lot of what was going on. So we had this sort of, it was a fae came into the camp and
I missed this completely.
I actually missed the interaction, but I know they spoke literally in riddles. And they ended up speaking with Lucille, who was able to get some information then from this fae. And then as a nation, we were all looking for various pieces of this puzzle to put it all together. These literally came inside bottles.
Yeah, it was like old bottles, right?
Yeah.
And they had, do we have, where were the clues then? Because then we had clues on where they would be, all the bottles would be, right? Were the clues just showing up, or they were showing up in each bottle?
It was hard to tell because I didn't actually have one of the physical bottles. I know that people were all just, well, for example, we got a clue straight away because a fae came in and we had this riddle from the fae who was connected to the whole overarching story. Then we had these bottles, and I think there was like 5 bottles or something, and they all had pieces of information inside them. And slowly over the weekend, it was all building up to this final point. And there was other bits that were coming together as well. There was things all relating to griffins. And very quickly we realized, oh, this is all, to do with the griffins. So a lot of us were kind of running around trying to gather these bottles, trying to solve riddles, solve clues. We knew that it was wine bottles, so a lot of us were going to places where wine bottles would be.
Well, I think the first one people knew. That's why I was like, we definitely got clues.
Yeah.
Because I was told, right, that it's going to be in a bar, and everyone checked a load of the bars, and I was like, because I remember that was the only interaction I had with that plot, even though I was following along. The only thing I did personally was like, I went, well, what about the Haven bar, like the actual Haven bar? So I went to where the NPCs run it, or the crew run it, or whatever, which is like they do out character money, a proper bar. So I went in there and they were like, oh, what's the name? You have to give us the name. We do have it 100%, but what's the name you've got to give us? And I was like, I don't know.
We don't know the name.
So apparently a couple of other people had asked.
Again, kind of links on to like what happened later on as well, which was quite cool.
Yeah.
So it was other groups in the nation were actively collecting these bottles. The only bits that I ended up doing things with was the actual riddles themselves.
Yeah.
When those were coming out, I like the riddles, So, and so does Maz. So like Maz and I were having fun with that. So we basically just had a lot of fun with Griffin stuff, and just slowly piecing together little bits of that plot, which does kind of like then come up right at the very end of the event. Was it the Sunday that the final bit happened? It was. Yeah. So
maybe you may as well just finish that, because like
actually, may as well. Yeah. So
because I didn't go on it. So.
Yeah. So we were finding all of these different clues, and then the final clue came about, and it essentially said that the final piece of our puzzle would be found within a cellar. We had to speak to the trader at the cellar, the wine trader, or something like that. That actually led us on to going on to a dungeon. So there was a very small group of us that got to go to this dungeon. So we went out, and it was all people that had been involved in bits of the plot and everything throughout. And we came to this dungeon. As we went in, the dungeon was set up as a wine cellar. So it was like a legitimate wine cellar, and there was a very fably person sitting there. And we got there, and we were kind of looking around and things, and they're like, yes, come in, welcome, look around. And as we're going around, we know there's still like clues we need to find. We still need to find the final bottle, which is in the cellar, this wine cellar filled with bottles. So we're finding tons and tons of bottles around. And I was like looking around. I was literally just like walking with my hand against the inside. And there was like these sort of like creatures hanging off one of the walls. And I was just kind of playing with them. And then out falls a load of paper. And it was an entire story that like fell out of it. And I was like, oh my gosh. So we brought this story over. We then found the bottle with the parchment in it, and we got to our final clue, which essentially said that we had to then speak to the person that was literally sitting right there. And then they kind of went, oh, yes, that's me. And they were like all amazing and fably. And we got this whole story, which essentially told us about how the griffins came to be to begin with. It gave us information on how griffins breed. You know, basically, it gave us the clues and information on how to get our griffins, you know, well again, how to have more griffins, and it was really cool. But it all tied in with a story around this sort of fae person who was there, who had had their name taken from them. And they then were given their name at the end. And this was the most like positive interaction ever. It was so cute.
Stupid
it was so
fae
fun.
bullshit. Yeah.
It was full of fae bullshit. And it was just beautiful. It was amazing. So we all got to have all that. And the whole story about the griffins, we did like a big reading in the tent of this whole story. And it was just so cool. To be part of that at the end, which means now going into next year, we have some like a solid idea on our griffins. A few other things is opened up as well. A few things that now need to be investigated as a nation, which is quite cool. And that information has all come back with us. And because, you know, we're like a little nation, we share things, that information is going to get shared with everybody there, which is really cool.
Yeah, because we're not doing this chronologically, we're just doing it by plot, which I think is probably the best way to do this.
That might be easier.
Let's finish all the Griffin stuff we did. So, yeah, so the context as well is that if you haven't listened to any of the other stuff, the Griffins are like dying off. So we have Griffin riders. We have found out, so I think it's national knowledge, pretty much everyone knows now. So that the Griffins they're like royal protectors.
Yeah.
Right? So the Griffin riders are like royal blood as well. But we have lost the knowledge in the fading on how these griffins breed with each other. So we literally had, when we were our Valdrave characters, we helped out the griffins. Lucky we did as well, because maybe they would have less. But in that downtime, one of the griffins got killed.
Yeah.
By this fallen captain.
Yes.
It was like some dreadnought craziness or something, wasn't it? And one of our skirmishes, our missions for Avereaux was a nighttime fight to go deal with this captain. So I was actually quite surprised. It's like, this is a nighttime combat, and our nation not the most fighty, as in like there's not a lot of players in there that are like have got lots of fighting experience or are actual combatants.
Yeah.
So they were like, this one compared to, so like your one you went on, I think Maz went on one previously where they had to go fight a fire monster, which was, I thought was hilarious, because once again I spoke to the NPC playing, or no, I heard the NPC who was playing the monster later on that weekend, and they were talking about how they should have used water against it, really. But we know there's no water weaver. If only someone who went on that was a water weaver. It was just funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, so so we missed out on that. I missed out on going to the cellar. Because the numbers, I know they've got finite numbers, and they can't just have everybody go, because otherwise the whole field's going to go. But still, it's like small nation. I'm like, damn, like not getting on everything. But then for this one, it's like, oh, this is going to be a big battle thing. We're like, just for Avereaux, and there was like 30 spaces, and we had 12 people from Avereaux that could fight or something.
Oh my gosh!
I was like, okay, this could be interesting. So. We're new to the nation as well, so they were trying to get things organized. But when I heard, okay, there's 12, we need 30 people, I was like, see ya, I'm gonna go. I was like, I don't care if people find other people. I went straight to Krios. I went, Krios!
Krios are next to us.
I was like, yeah, Krios is camped opposite us. I was like, Krios, could you mind helping out Avereaux? It's a nighttime skirmish against the fallen. So yeah, we ended up having like, 10 like Kairosi with us.
Yeah. Because they had a skirmish after us. So a lot of them were kind of getting ready for that. And to hand it to them, they just went, yeah. Okay. We're like, well, we need 30 people. We have 12 people at the minute.
Yeah.
Please help.
Yeah. I was like, and they're like, how many do you need? I was like, honestly, if I
bring
could take
everyone, bring the nation.
If I could take the entire nation,
bring the nation, okay?
That would be great. But no, yeah. So we had some because again, we have a mixture in Avereaux. We got a lot of healers. There is like a shield. There's like a load of weavers, a load of mages, and a few kind of like fighters, like swordy fighters, skirmishy fighters, but not a lot of like heavy shields.
Yeah, we don't have those that sort of heavy.
Yeah, and Krios kind of they like to fight as a unit as well. We don't really have much of that. So yeah, I was like, Krios, help, So Krios came and helped us out. So we had a good like 10 of them or something, didn't we, in the end, come to help us out. Yeah. Thankfully. We needed them as well.
We really did for that one, actually.
So we ended up going down into the woods, out onto the big field. They did a pretty good job with the lighting on this one. Because they had like floodlights on, but it didn't feel like it was like stadium lights.
It felt like you were out fighting at night, and it felt like you yourself could decide how scary you want to make this. You could draw the fight out into the sort of shadows a bit, and fight more over there, or you come more into the light in the center, which was quite cool. And that was a feeling I was getting from the skirmish crew as well. Of if you want to drag this out, if you want to kind of come out over to the edge, do it. Yeah.
So I had great fun with my rights this time, because I was running around doing my like ensnares with my earth right. I did like my stone skin. I had one as well so I couldn't be staggered as well.
Okay.
And yeah, I think I only got corrupted once from my earth rights.
Yeah.
So I got corrupted. So if you take out every time you do a right, you do your draw. There's less chance of you getting your bad overload token the higher rank you are. So I think as a 4, I think I had 6 normal tokens, and then plus the bad one.
I think so. Yeah.
So like a 1 in 7 chance that I was going to fail, which is I think is quite cool, because the higher weaver you are, the more willing you are to do more rights. Which I think is quite cool. So, but if you take out a bad one, you either overload, which means you drop to 0 hit points, or you go tell a ref that you are corrupted. So yeah, I got corrupted because I'm not going to go. I'm not going to. Yeah, I think there are definitely times where I'm going to like, this is a cool roleplay moment to overload.
Yeah.
But corruption can cause death as well. So, but yeah, I did go to a ref and say, "Yeah, I'm corrupted," and I'll tell you about that later. But yeah, so the fight itself, I thought it was really good. We had a bit of a hiccup. There was a little bit of an out of character hiccup that sort of stalled it a little bit, which is a shame. But we were successful.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit tense at times. Because like you said, because they had the light out onto that massive field, you could actually flank people. Like people were trying to flank, because it was obviously darker the further you got out.
Yeah. So you could, because a lot of us were trying to kind of run around the back and kind of like do that, but then they were trying to do that to us as well, which was quite cool. It was real fun fighting though. Like I had a lot of like fun, like rule of cool fights in that one.
Skirmish crew is scary because they're all like heavily armored and like big,
and they can fight.
Yeah, but it's not like our old characters where I'm like, because I usually fight, a lot of my characters I usually fight in heavy armor, so a lot of it was just like, the getting close to people. It was really cool doing the ritual. Doing the ritual, like for the ensnare, and being like, I'm gonna do the ritual, and I was like, put my hand on the ground while people were fighting, and then jumping through and being like, ensnare, and then running off again. I'm like, get them. So also, encouraging. It's quite cool to encourage like newer fighters, newer LARPers, because there are quite a few in Avereaux as well. Be like,
oh yeah, like
go do the thing. I'll hit you with a stick. Like, and I'm like, if that guy's hitting them with a stick, I'm sure I can run in with a shield and a sword and hit them.
I was having fun kind of doing the whole, because again, I was in medium armor, but I was like, it was a bit squishy out there. So I was all squishy, and I was there with 2 sticks, because I did Ambi again, and throwing weapons and Ambi. It was that good old combination from back in the day.
Good old combination. Anyway,
so
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say So like, obviously you did all your rights. I had the air rights, which were a little bit different. And as the event went on, I kind of got a better understanding as to how they all worked and everything. Because basically, even like out on the field itself, you can pair with another like air weaver, and you can hit those higher rights while you're out on the field. And if you burn enough flicker, you can give your both of you some cool things to do. So you got role play to do. So your role play, you were doing the whole like your hand on the earth, and you were calling all the power and everything.
I was just Avatar earthbending. That's all I was doing. I was just like, I'm just gonna just do earthbending. That's what I was doing.
I basically got my 2 sticks and just kind of did a little bit of like an Eskrima performance type thing for the right amount of time, and because it makes the swishing noise of the air as well when you're doing that. So I was like, this is quite cool. And then I was basically like saying to people, I was able to like stagger people. At certain points, I was able to crush people
It was
as
like gust
well.
of wind, and then you had so you so yeah, the flavor of that, because you can call a ranged crush, but the actual right is lightning strike. So you're literally calling down lightning for a ranged, and it does crush. So you're literally lightning rodding someone in heavy armor to go and crush them. So
that was the thing. What I was literally doing is going through the lines, and as if I was seeing like somebody in decent armor, like fighting like quite a few people in decent armor, I was literally kind of coming up and I was like staggering the other people away, so they just had that one-on-one fight sort of thing, and going around doing that, which was quite fun, just kind of like playing with that. But yeah, no, that was a good little nighttime one, because we weren't that geared up to go on it originally.
Oh, we had to go on it
until we realized we really have to go on this.
Oh yeah, this could be quite rough. So I think we only lost one person.
Lost one person, yeah. They did a May the Gods Witness Me, so they basically took themselves out, but gave themselves they were invulnerable for a certain amount of time, getting to do all the cool stuff before then going out.
Yeah. Wrapping up the Griffin stuff. So we were successful there. So we were like, we were talking about the weaving stuff, especially on the last episode, how it's the best part of the game. But when you're trying to figure out how to do something, so we had this idea of like, right, the Griffins need something to protect. This was us speculating at that point before you went down into the cellar.
Yeah.
And got the information you got. We were like, okay, I think the Griffins need something to protect. Our monarchy, so Avereaux's monarchy has disappeared to the last king of Avereaux. We didn't know what happened to him.
Yeah.
Right. So we were like, well, maybe we need to get the crown jewels back. Right. So if we can find the crown, and then we were like, I only say this to put forward the thought process. So we were like, right, we could do a fable weaving to find out the story.
Yeah.
And then we could do an oracle weaving to figure out where it is. And then it was like, instead of doing, so it was actually Steph that mentioned this, like, to us, because she plays, I can't remember her character's name in Erdrevan, who's a priest of the Traveller.
Yeah.
Has suggested this to us and went, instead of doing 2 weavings, why don't you do like something like a divine inspiration to like ask a god? So you do like so instead of just doing the cool thing for the 2 cool things, the one cool thing that's going to be the same thing, basically, why don't you do something religious and then back it up with a weaving? Basically,
this is a cool way to bring all sorts of game into one area.
So anyway, the following day we were like, all right, and then I couldn't find Steph's character. So then I went, one of our friends in Cyridonia is a priest of the Guardian. So I happened to say, divine inspiration, because I know it's a very expensive religious skill that not a lot of priests have. And he was like, I've got divine inspiration. I was like, you do? And he's like, yeah. So this was then the rest of my game, really, for my part in while you were off doing the bottle thing, and I was like, right, I'm gonna get this sorted. So we figured out, because again, it's a new game, so a lot of it's like, how does this work? So we figured out divine inspiration. You can ask, so if you're a priest with divine inspiration, and it's an expensive skill to purchase with experience points, but it's only 5 faith. Right, so I only get 5 faith from people, and even our friend was like, he didn't realize that. I think a lot of people didn't realize that faith runs out. He did, but I remember speaking to people, and they're like, I'm like, your faith runs out, by the way, and they're like, is it? Well,
here, just take it.
Well, you give it to the priest then, So it's only 5 for this divine inspiration, and then you can ask a god any question, any one question, and it is any god, because we double checked. We were like,
any god, because it was a priest of the Guardian, but you wanted to ask a different. God,
so I wanted to ask the scholar. Yeah, I was like, does the scholar know where the story of the last location of the King of Avereaux? And so so he was like, again, this is so cool. I could just be like, I'm just gonna go off and do a little bit of, a little bit of my own, like, asking around, a little bit of plot. So we're like, okay, but then he found out, he's like, right, so how it works, he was like, this is like an out of character, like, he was just like, how does this work? And they were like, oh, basically, you could ask any god, even though you're a priest of the Guardian, but if you ask another god, Guardian might not be too happy with you, right? So that's why I was like,
cool.
okay, so in character, he was like, yeah, I'm not keen on that. I was like, okay, well, we'll ask the Guardian. So we asked, like, the aspect of the Sentinel or something like that. That's like a watchful Guardian.
Okay.
Where was the last location of the King of Avereaux? Right.
That's cool.
I think my exact question was along the lines of, what was the last adventure of the last King of Avereaux? So I got an answer. I'm not going to tell you on the podcast because it's a game I want to pursue, right? So I got an answer right at the end of the event, and it was a really, really freaking cool answer, right? Really freaking cool answer. So it was really cool at the end to be like, we all came together and be like, what did we all learn about what did we all do with the Griffins? And we've all got little bits of information that we did. So that's one thing I really liked about the game, and that was, again, one of the two examples of, like, the faith system coming in, to work with the weaving. Which I hope they work on more. I don't know if they're tweaking things for, like, the religion game either. So I think one of the complaints I've heard, and I think personally as well, looking at it, is that if you are a priest, that's one thing, because you take everyone's faith. Yeah, if you want to do a build or, like, an entreaty, then you can go around and you do, like, a pitch to people and be like, oh yeah, like a proper preacher, and be like, give me your faith, and you can do this amazing thing for the entire. If you convince them, I'm going to build this church, and everyone's like, that's great, cool, they have my faith. But if you're a paladin and you want to use the faith skills to, like, smite things, like going up, so if a priest comes up and goes, hey, I want to build this church and it's going to give us all magic and blah, blah, and everyone's like, great. And then you got the paladin go, hey, can I have your faith though? Like, well, why should I give you, not him? And the paladin goes,
I want to hit something really hard.
I want to hit something really hard. Well, can I hit something too? No, just me.
No, just me.
And, all right, well, how many things do you get to hit? One? And it has to be corrupted. Like, it's not great for paladins.
Yeah, it's a bit harder.
Which is a shame. But yeah, using it in that way, I hope they kind of, tweak it maybe a little bit, to steer it in that direction. Maybe to have something different from paladins. But yeah, that was all the Griffin plot we did.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Yeah. So so I think we kind of covered quite a lot of the bits there. Obviously,
we've got so much more to talk about.
We've still got lots to talk about, but we covered all the that's all our Griffins and our weavings there. Obviously so, like, you mentioned about, like, being corrupted and everything there, and obviously you are corrupted like at this point in the game. And so we got to something really cool with the religion game, didn't we? Because when we were, like, sitting in the Treasure Hunters Guild, best guild, and when we were sitting in the Treasure Hunters Guild, we actually had a priest of the Smith.
Yeah. So, like, talking about, like, the paladin thing and the preacher thing. So this is the first time I think we had actually said as a group with the religion game when the first few events, we were like, there needs to be more people being, like, preaching about their gods. So yeah, we had a priest of the Smith, and be like, have you spent your faith yet? And this was quite early as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was on, like, the it was, like, one of the evenings in the Treasure Hunters Guild, and he, like, came up to us and was like, yeah, like, have you spent your faith yet? Well, and then he started to preach to us about what he was planning on doing with the Smith. And basically what they wanted to do was create a mirror that would, when you look into it, and your reflection, when you see your reflection, will show whether you are in any way corrupted. And we were like, this was quite early on in the event, like you said, and we're like, yeah, do you know what?
Yeah,
this is really cool. Yeah, here, take my faith. I'm
Before
now
I knew about
dedicated
the
to and I'm dedicated to the Smith.
So we were the Smith,
This is really cool, great. And then it was, like, on the Sunday that we were walking past the Menhir at a certain point, and he pops his head and goes, great, you've made it. We're like, yes, we are here.
Totally,
we are
totally
here.
I just so happened to be there. Yeah.
Because basically he said, oh yeah, like if you are helping me with this, I want you to be part of it as well.
It's like
So,
a weaving.
yeah.
The Entreaty is like a weaving. It's
Yeah.
like the religious version of the weaving. So you stand at the Menhir and you speak to you speak to your god, right? And then you want to try and involve as many people as you can. Ideally, the people that have given you the faith or whatever, that you've dedicated.
Yeah.
But no, he did ask us, oh yeah, can you be here for it? I would like you there because I want as many people from different nations.
Yeah.
And luckily I did actually just so happen to be in around the Menhir, and then you guys, I was like, oh, let's do the Entreaty. And I'm glad we did. Cause it was really cool.
Oh my God, it was amazing. So I had the prop of like the actual mirror and the cloth, and we talked very much about the smith and about polishing the mirror, and it's got passed around the circle as every single person spoke about their nation and about how this will help their nation deal with corruption, or why they want to deal with corruption. It was really cool as every single person would say something as it came round.
So let's rewind a bit.
Yeah.
I got corrupted and then I went to the ref. So it doesn't say on the wiki, it doesn't say what exactly happens, but it does warn you could actually just die, right?
Yeah.
It can like corrupt the there's a multitude of different effects of corruption, but one of them is definitely just death. So I went to the ref and went, hey, I've taken point of corruption. They got their little pad and was like, okay, this is the roleplay effect. The roleplay effect was not what I expected, right?
No.
I was like, so the roleplay effect was you want to keep all the knowledge you gain to yourself.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, that's really interesting. So I did, I mean, because I think I told you OC anyway, but
You told me
Yeah.
OC.
mhm.
Did you tell the thread OC as
No.
well?
No.
Our thread just caught onto it,
Yeah.
because, every time, obviously, up until that point, before you got corrupted, we're trying to find information. We're sharing information. We're like, basically literally finding these clues and giving them off to people in our nation. And we're like doing this. And then it was suddenly you start going, oh, why are we talking to this nation about that? Why are we telling them this? Why do we trust this group? I don't know them. And then like the nations our nation supports are like catching on and was very much like, why do you feel that way? And like kind of clocked straight on that something wasn't right.
It's difficult for a new character to be like, right, okay, so to make people think that you're acting different, you have to establish how you normally act, right? So I was very much like, I'm like, oh yeah, let's all work together, because that's the nature of the game, which is really easy. I mean, obviously the corruption, then the idea of that corruption roleplay effect is that's not teamwork, is it? So I started out by being like, because Valdrafe came around with their like story, whatever, their festival or whatever it was, and I was like, why do we even trust Valdrafe? You know what I mean? What? So that wasn't massively out of the ordinary for Avereaux to say.
Yeah.
But I like built on that, and then eventually I was just like, yeah, we should just keep things in Avereaux. And then eventually I was like, yeah, you know what? I don't even know half the people in Avereaux. You know, I think maybe just us. Maybe we just keep it between us. To the point where when we got to the Entreaty, and they were like, how would you use this mirror? And I was like, I would use it to stop people knowing my knowledge and my secrets. My own.
Yeah, it was so good. So obviously we did this whole thing and it was successful, and they created this mirror, and then I believe it was you who actually suggested, was it not you that suggested?
Because I wanted the roleplay moment. Because he was like, oh, thank you everyone. And I was like, oh, show us how it's used.
Why don't we all look into it? Because we've all done a cool thing to do something, and everyone's like, oh yes, I look into it. See my true reflection, and we're all going around, it's all great. And then he shows it to you, and you just lean into him, and you just like, I'm corrupted.
I was like, I have 1 point of corruption, by the way. He's like, oh.
And then, but what was really cool is the entire group got to see exactly how it works. He did all this crazy like priest stuff on you, and you were like, the role play was amazing.
Yeah, I got purified or whatever. Yeah.
And then at the end of it, you were just like,
time
oh
in
my
this game.
gosh, that was incredible. I have to tell everyone. And then you were like, telling everyone.
That's what I mean. Then you just got to reverse it. You're like, I'm going to tell everybody everything about everything.
Everyone. Hey, random stranger, guess what?
Guess what? Here's the information I found today.
It was really cool. I do think it's cool being able to show something, like show like how it's actually worked straight away. Because a lot of this is obviously it's role play, but a lot of it is you're imagining in a sense that this thing that I have done is now going to do something else later on in the game. But for it to be instantly right in front of you was really cool.
Yeah, no, it was,
and
it
everyone
worked
that
out.
tent was invested. They were all like, "Oh, we're all staying for this. It's amazing."
Yeah, no, that was good. Yeah, because it's cool because the priest got to do their entreaty, and then they got to do they got their cool item, they got to use their cool item, and then they got to use their priest skill after it. You know what I mean? So that
and now we know someone with a mirror that shows corruption.
Yeah, and a friend. Yeah,
And a friend.
Yeah. Should we talk about the incursions?
Yeah.
We had one. There was a few. We had only had one actual camp incursion because camp incursions weren't really a thing. They've kind of got rid of them. But then we had one that was just outside the camp, basically. That was really cool because everyone ended up heading down there. That's when I had amazing fun because I got to just skip around because Avereaux doesn't really have like a block of fighters. So I was just
This was Sunday, wasn't it? Sunday morning.
Sunday,
yeah.
I just ended up skipping around in front of Valdraith, in front of Cyridonia, which is hilarious. There's a great picture of me because there's this one Fallen, I think we were fighting, or the Void. I think it was the Void actually we were fighting. Oh no, it was the Void because they were like chanting.
It was the Void, and they had the Rend bombs.
Yeah, so it might have actually been a mix of, I don't know. Anyway, so there was one bad guy,
Baddies.
right? And they were just like in front of like a massive line of Cyridonia, and I just like skip up the line, and I just started like
Hitting with a stick.
I tell you what, me and like two other people who weren't heavily armored completely just like took out these fighters while Cyridonia was still like this, and I'm like, anyway, off I go.
There's a lot of pictures of that, which is quite funny. It was just like our entire group with like our light to no armor skipping around the place.
Oh, you got bombed bad, didn't you? You got Ren bombed.
I got Rend bombed, and it was bad because when I got Ren bombed, I happened to be quite far out compared to everyone because I ran because I was an idiot, everyone. Nobody was taking out the Rend bomb. And I went, maybe I could take out the Rend bomb.
And then you're like, oh, wait, I'm susceptible to Rend.
Well, the thing is, I was like, okay, normally heavy armors will like run in and take them out. And I was like, well, there's no rule against me taking them out. I can do it.
You've got to take them out before they explode.
I didn't take them out before they exploded. They exploded on me. Yeah. And I was like, okay, this is scary. And then right after that, all the smoke starts, and then everyone's walking down towards us. I was like, oh no, I'm in a lot of danger.
A lot of danger. Well, there was a lot of healers around because I remember I think you were just nearby. I don't think I even saw you, but I was like healing someone else because I can do my earthly.
You were healing someone, and the person you were healing, and that whole group ran back over to the line. I was right beyond that, but luckily there was like a fight. There was a couple of fighters next to me. Yeah. Who grabbed me, and we just ran straight.
Because I can do. I've seen worse, but then it takes me just a minute if I haven't got it prepared to cast it. Yeah. So I was like, because every time I'm like seeing someone down, I'm like, you're down, I can get you up, but if there's another healer, they're probably better. And then at that moment, there was about 10 people down with the Rem bomb, and I was like, okay, I may as well just cast it and get at least one person up.
That was the only bit I was like, okay, I'm in a little bit of danger here, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine. I've got 2 minutes. And then we were like, oh, it was fine though. Yeah. But then it was good fun though.
That was a real good fight. I really enjoyed that fight. It was great.
That again is when I didn't realize how some of my rights worked. So like somebody had explained that I could do like crush, and I said, that's amazing. They taught me through exactly how to do it. And I said, right, does this work like normal crush? Do I need to go up and make physical contact? They went, yes. I went, okay. Found out later it's not that.
Yeah, because that's your lightning strike.
Yeah.
It's range, yeah. It's like a level 5.
Yeah. The person I was speaking to, I don't know if that's changed or not in the rules, because the person I'm speaking to has been in the area for quite a long time. And that's why it's
changed? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like since then.
Yeah.
So I went in with that in my head. Obviously, I know now it doesn't work like that. But what was really cool, that was when I got to the lines, and I was like, right, there's lots of heavy armored people coming up. Like, they are going to annihilate me. I got not a lot of hit points. So I would go up to like big groups of heavy armored people, and I'd be like, hey, that one there that keeps taking everyone out, I'm going to go and I'm going to crush them. You all need to pull me back.
Yeah, you
so
do
that
need
was good fun.
Yeah, I mean, so at that point, because I kept doing the right for the ensnare,
yeah,
you've got to G people up in front of you to be like, right, you go while I'm doing this, while I'm doing my role play, basically, you go and engage, I will jump in and ensnare them, then you batter them. Basically, you've got to G people up, because if you run in and just be like, I'm going to do a crush, and there's like 10 of them, there's going to do nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I got to have little like foxy tantrums as well.
Yeah.
So I'm going to call it foxy tantrums.
Foxy tantrums.
Because I was like, I saw one of our mates at the other side from Empire, and he's like, he's got all his armor and everything on, was one of the fallen stuff, and was there with all the weapons. And I was like, I did this role play. I was like, that one, I'm taking out that one, and I'm getting my crush ready. I'm running up, and someone else took him out, and I was like, oh, come on. I had like a proper tantrum. He's like giggling on the ground. I wanted that one.
It's okay, they respawn.
It's okay. So I'm like skipping away, being like, that's not fair.
Yeah. Did you like that? We invented the Avereaux skip as well.
The Avereaux skip.
I was like, you know what? What's the most undamon thing I can do here? I'm going to be skipping around, still doing the same type of thing, going just being stupid and walking in front of the line.
Oh
it's
my
just the funnest great place to
God.
be. But still really fun.
Yeah.
That was a good encounter. Late on the Saturday.
Yeah, like really late.
Yeah, we did another little nighttime thing. We went to go and so we have an archetype in Avereaux called gourmands.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about bread and food and the hobbity part of the brief, right?
The hobbity ones.
Yeah, yeah. So an NPC was like, oh, was it the NPC or was it the thread who was like my marmalade, basically.
I feel it was an NPC. Correct me if that's wrong. I'm sure it was an NPC.
Yeah, but anyway, we had to go collect the marmalade and the jam
and the honey
from the woods, and then we got in there. So we all went through. We went for a nighttime walk through the woods, and then there was these NPCs. It was so funny. Like, these NPCs were like going, "Oh no!" Like, "Oh no, the jam!" And "Oh no, help us find the jam!" And this bear, so the good old bear suit.
Oh.
Right? So they had the bear in there, basically had been eating this jam, marmalade, or whatever it was. And if you pick the pots up, if you ate it, it could like basically give you fire breath. It was
Well, they were all different ones. So one of them would give you fire breath.
Yeah.
One of them would give you like other abilities and stuff. There was like 3 different abilities. Yeah. I think we actually still have some in our camp box.
Yeah. So
we ended up camping some at the end.
Yeah. So the bear had been eating it, but there's then breathing fire. So then it was like rending people.
So what like happened here? What was really funny is we kind of came into it, and I was like, okay, well, I'm going to distract the bear. So I've got my sticks. I'm hitting my sticks against themselves because I don't want to hurt the bear. So I was like distracting the bear. I was like, come on, come to me. And it looked at me, and then they called fire breath. I went, what? I did not compute. I was like, I'm
bear
on
is
fire?
breathing fire, yeah.
The bear is breathing fire, and I'm now on fire. Okay, I'm on fire.
But then we had to kind of figure out, and it was so for the NPCs were hilarious as well. They were like, oh no, help us get it. Oh no, the bear. And it was so we had to like try and then we got all the marmalade, and then we had to like chase the bear. I was like, go away, bear.
The bear is okay.
The bear's fine.
The bear is fine. There was not a single person on that skirmish who was going to kill the bear.
Yeah. Well, we came in quite aggressive at first, and we were like, oh no, it's just
eating the wrong. It's just eating some bad honey.
Eating some jam, and now it's breathing fire.
It's okay.
Like, okay.
It's fine. He just needs to go and sleep it off, okay? So the bear's fine.
that was a fun little.
But we now know if we were to get a bear and it was to be our friend, we could feed it this stuff, and then we've got a fire-breathing bear as an ally. So there's that as well.
Right. Yeah. So, should we talk about the finale, or was there any other bits and pieces?
There was little bits throughout, but no. Let's go into the finale. I think it was such a good finale to end this event. So
much happened this event. Literally so much happened that I mean, we could go on for like 4 episodes on all the little bits and pieces that happened. Little interactions and things like that. It's what I like about we haven't talked about monstering either. No. So we'll briefly go over that.
Yeah.
There's not really too much to say about it. You were reffing. We were monstering as the Void against Erdreven.
Erdreven.
And before that, the Adventurers Guild.
Yeah.
And we were on the top of this hill. It's like
Maz really struggled with her knees.
With the knees, yeah. Maz did struggle because I don't know if anyone knows, but she's got a gammy knee.
Yeah, I don't know if Maz has ever told you this before, but she has a gammy knee.
Gammy knee. So that they had this structure on top of like a hillock that's on top of this massive hill. We did the first interaction was against the Adventurers Guild where we had a not a vampire, necromancer. So necromancer, and we were all the undead thralls of the necromancer because we had to like rise from the dead and attack the Adventurers Guild.
Oh yeah, that was really cool. Can I tell my kind of view of that because you were on the ground and the view was amazing from like because
the view was amazing from me as well. It was like
sleeping
grass.
on the grass. Like you lot just act like idiots, and the grass was funny. But like they were all down in the grass, being dead, And I'm standing there and I can see the Adventurers Guild slowly kind of coming up the hill. And all of you are just in different points. You were invisible, by the way, because the grass was quite long. And a lot of you were on like the hilly bit. So you were totally invisible. And it was just Johnny walking out in the middle, basically like, I'll show you what true power is. Rise. I'm like, the image of all you rising up. And the before the Adventurers Guild came up, there were some of the people, their role play was incredible of being like they're doing the zombie walk going around.
Oh yeah, like the random zombies.
The random zombies.
You like the Walking Dead zombies that are just like bumbling around.
It was kind of scary actually. Yeah. And then suddenly you all rose up and then suddenly like went for them. I was like, this is quite scary. I'm glad I'm reffing. That was pretty good. I mean, again, it was just a keep respawning, be easy to kill. Yeah.
Easy OZ for them. And then we did a void. We were the void against Erdreven in the same kind of spot, like OC geographically. But they had to like basically hold this menhir, which was like fizzeret by this actual structure on top of this, again, this hillock. But we weren't allowed to surround them on top of the hill because there was like a drop on one side. So we just kind of kept respawning at them while they had to hold this hill for a certain amount of time. So it was a pretty straightforward like encounter for Erdreven.
Oh yeah.
Because they have the most archers on the field. Half of us didn't because it was Avereaux and Hammerstedt?
I think it was Hammerstedt, yes.
A lot of us didn't have heavy armor, right? So we were just running at several dozen archers who had the high ground. It was relatively straightforward.
That was right, yeah.
It got a little bit. I do have feedback for the combat. I think because it had changed a bit. I'll try and put this in writing to the game team. My quibble about the game, the main one, it changed from because if anyone's watched our Event 1 recaps, we really praised the theatrical role play.
Yeah.
Of the fighting, and the fighting was a little bit more vibey. And we really enjoyed that. At E4, at Event 4, I found that I think it's because there are now more refs, and at the start of the game, crew, like skirmish crew, were helping out with rules. Now we have more people knowing the rules. We have new LARPers coming in who also know the rules, and there's a little bit of a cult. Just from this is my point of view.
Yeah.
In my opinion, there's starting to be a culture of everybody shouting rules at each other.
Yeah.
Instead of just refs being like, no, that or that. Instead of just a monster and a player character role playing a fight, there's a lot of, oh, that does that. Oh, that does that. Oh, you've been rendered. That does that. That does that. And then so this wasn't just me on the monstering side. This was every interaction I had on a fight this weekend.
Yeah. I did notice that.
There was so many players and skirmish crew and monsters and refs shouting rules that it was starting to get very confusing, and it caused a few problems, I thought. But because I think when you have new LARP, I think the problem is when you have new LARPers coming in, they just pick up on the culture and think that's what we do during this game.
Yeah.
It's a game of Magic the Gathering where we're just like, oh, actually, we've got to like try and rule ourselves, and there's no ref there. We're like, actually, there is a ref there. They're like, let them deal with it.
Yeah.
If you have an issue, go speak to the ref. I mean, there was one instance basically in this. I was just running out. I'm just target practice for the archers.
Yeah.
I'm there to make them have fun. I want to make them. I'm a monster. They're the heroes. I want to make them feel cool. They've spent all this money out of character on a bow. They spent a lot of money coming to the weekend. Give them a cool thing. I went out there. I got shot about 10 times. You saw me. You
died
right?
about 10 times.
Yeah, and I was giving it all. I went like I like was flying backwards, right? So my intention wasn't to win, right? I'm obviously there to die, but there was one moment so I got shot. But what happened was the arrow got launched. It skiffed off someone's shield, bounced off someone's shoulder, and then landed. It like lay like across here on the top of my hood. It went brr and just fell here. Now, that's not a hit because I know the rules. Like you can't so a glanced hit on an arrow is not a hit, right? For safety reasons, it can't be a hit.
Yeah, for safety reasons, that's why you can't parry them.
You
and
can't
things
parry,
like that.
because it's they go right. Okay, if it's glanced off something, then it's not a hit. So I know that, but it wasn't as if I wasn't protesting, but I just went, oh, I'm just going to carry on. But it went, but as soon as it landed here, I had about 5 people yelling in my face, get down, that's a rend, you want it? And I'm like, all right. I'm just like, okay, I'm just like, I've been dying this whole time. I'm going to die. Don't worry. Like, I'm not trying to cheat you out of anything. So, that's my
No, you're all right. Yeah, it
really
was
about the event.
I think I noticed that quite a bit going through the event as well. There were quite a lot of that sort of thing. And I do miss a little bit of that sort of rule of cool, which is definitely still there when like I do tend to find myself when we're fighting, like looking for members of like skirmish crew and stuff to go and fight with them because I know it's gonna be lots of fun. But yeah, no, I have noticed that actually. You're right.
Yeah. But anyway, moving on to the finale.
Yeah.
The finale, which was a bit of the plot of the main overarching plot of this event that we didn't take any part in until we were a part of it, until you were just a part of it, which is quite hilarious.
Yeah, there was, so the plot of this event is people from all nations were trying to gain these favors.
It was a Valdray thing. So Haven had appeared in Valdray.
Yeah,
right?
So we were in Valdray and this was started before, and basically there is a tourney that was never finished because the story goes that whenever this tourney has been put on, it's been interrupted by an enemy known as the Terror. So they decided, let's try this again. Let's put on this tourney. And everybody is part of this. Every single nation is part of this tourney, and they all have to gather favors. The way it's split up is that there's like 3 favors per nation. I think it was teams of 3 that were coming into it. Oh, not per nation, actually. I think that's wrong.
Oh, no, it's not. No, the favors. So the favors were going around.
Yeah.
Just sorry to interrupt, but like this, so the favors were going around from NPCs as well. There's lots of ways you can get these favors. There's loads of different ways because the night before we were like chilling in our camp, and a lich came into the camp.
Yeah.
And was asking for secrets and information and things like that in exchange for one of these favors. So I think there was lots of opportunities during
there was all sorts of ways of getting these favors. There was ways that were really obvious, that literally you go do this thing, you will gain a favor. Ways that were less obvious. And it was the threads of the nations that also had these favors to give out. I believe there was about 30 of them. I might be wrong there, but I believe it's about 30 of them. So we were, and right before this tourney was about to take place on the Sunday, somebody had come up to you, didn't they, with a favor, because you could get a favor, but you don't have to go and fight in this tourney.
Yeah, anyone with the favor can fight,
you could give this to someone else and so on. Yeah. So you ended up getting a favor, and then that favor.
Yeah, a friend from several previous lives was like, hey, like, we're making a team of like, there's like a Valdrave team, there's this team, there's that team, but then there was other teams as well made up of different nations.
Yeah.
They were like, the
Crownlands team.
We ended up with like an extra Crownlands team, didn't we? And they were like, hey, do you want this? And I'm like, I don't know if I'm up for fighting because I don't already love fighting. It was already the end of the weekend as well. And I was like, well, if I can find you, because that was one thing about this event, we all kept like trying to find it. The good thing about the Menhir is like it is a pretty good meeting place, right?
Good thing about our kit is you can just look and be like, there they are.
Oh yeah, the teal and orange, by the way, the teal and orange was circumstantial because it was Marcher kit that Al wanted to reuse again for this character. I was like, cool, well that can be our.
Well, there we go. That's our color scheme.
That can be our color scheme. However, teal and orange, not the easiest to find off the rack stuff for.
Oh
is it?
God, no.
And Maz made us these pieces, didn't they? And they brought everyone together. I'm so
Maz
glad.
made these like the night before as well. These were amazing.
I was so pleased with our kit. Well, like our
Yeah.
kit was really good. We all looked so good.
It was so. Oh, I know
Yeah.
everybody just did so well with the kit. It was amazing.
So anyway,
Yeah. So
gave you the favor.
gave me the favor.
Yeah.
And yeah, I ended up in a team with 2 people from Valdreth. Boo. And
What did we say? I was like Crown Lands.
we're like, yeah, they're like Valdreth. I was like Crown Lands.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was quite fun though. So I had like our little group, and the idea was you're all in teams of 3. And we all go past this invisible barrier so that everybody in Haven can watch the fight happen. We're all in our teams, but we could team up with other teams. So, for example, there was like 2 or 3 like Crown Lands groups. So we all went, well, we all go as a group together and we'll fight against like Sov Ardravin and things like that. And then slowly, like your alliances will change. So we kind of went in with that sort of plan. Which was actually really strong. So we kind of all came in. Now, the way it all started was we were all counted into this big arena on this huge field. Sure, little favors so that they knew we were meant to be there. But just before going in, obviously, it was 5-10 minutes before going in that I got the favor. I had nothing prepared for this fight. And everyone else had like stacks of like potions ready, had all these magical items. I was like, oh no. But it was all good because I was able to find one of my friends from Cerdonia. And he had this really cool necklace that allowed me to kind of basically, if I went down to like 0 hit points, I was able to use this necklace to come back twice. And he also did like a cool enchantment on me and like buffed me right up, gave me lots of extra hit points.
That's a good friend.
I was a really good friend, yeah. I basically like clocked him just before going in. I was like, oh, good, sorted. So it was really cool. And he did this really like intense role play before going in to like buff me up and everything. And then I went in with that in mind and it was just amazing. So, because that's all like Oracle stuff, which is really cool. So then when we all kind of came into the actual arena itself, the group that I was in, we looked like such a mismatched little group.
You did. So I think Maz said, like, as we watched, because we were in like the spectator part, it was funny because that character, they went, oh, hey, by the way, like spectators over here, like if you don't mind fighting, you're not going to do any fighting, but if you don't mind fighting, stand over here, and everyone else like standing here. Anyway, we're watching you all like gags. One thing I will say, nobody had any idea on the rules. We were like, we have no idea. We just assumed it was going to be a big battle royale, right? And we saw all the teams, and then your team was like, I think Mass was like, oh, look at Team Anime over there. I got, but you did look like you were out of a different TV show. You were like, it was just, it was like,
we're from a different LARP.
There was like a clown and a fox and a musician. It was so,
musician.
It was like, what the fuck is that going on? What's going on?
We're skipping around together, just loving life.
Yeah, it was like the Dragon Ball Super, the battle of whatever, the battle.
No, that's exactly what it was like.
The big battle royale where you have all the people. You're like, what universe are they from? Universe Alpha Weirdo.
Oh my gosh. So the fight obviously started and very quickly all the like Crown Lands sort of lot, we basically grouped together and just had a lot of fun fighting everyone, taking out like group after group. I had thrown as a skill, and I'd thrown my throwing weapons away the previous night, so I didn't have any weapons. Luckily, turns out everyone has thrown. At one point, I was skipping around with my arms full of these thrown weapons, just throwing them around the place but people in the crowds were like pointing to the ground at weapons on the ground for me. They were like, there's another one there, go get it. And then they're like all cheering as I got it. And I'm like, this is cool. It's all gearing up the crowd.
Did you clock as well? I think they might have had an issue with people not having the thrown skill, using thrown, because several of our friends on crew were like, you have thrown, right?
Yeah.
Because I think
there was an issue.
I think a few people were just picking things up and throwing.
I was like,
you need the throwing skill.
Throwing skill does stagger in this game, which means you hit someone with it, and stagger means they've got to like take 10 paces back. I could also stagger.
5,
oh, is it 5?
I think it's 5, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was 10.
Yeah.
Okay. I could also stagger like 3 people at once with some of my air stuff. So because it's always like a battle royale, it was really easy to be able to stagger individuals away so that my group could take people out.
It's a good use for stagger.
It was a really good use for
By the way,
stagger, especially since we had, like, our three of us all got together at the start. We're like, oh, we're fighting together. Great. They went, what can you do? I was like, I have 2 sticks and I can throw things. Great. What can you do? I have this sword. I've not used it before. What can you do? It was like, we were like, can any of us heal? I went, nope.
Your group was so funny. Was so funny. There was that one moment. They were just getting stop hitting me! Stop hitting me! That made me absolutely pee myself. That tournament was so wild because again it went on for a bit and then we were like none of us knew any of the rules, but all the chants and the word come to my head, the heckles, all the heckles. And some of the chant, there was a group of like portavass next to us that were doing chants, making fun of people. And it was, I won't repeat them because there was
shiny armor.
Yeah, the shiny armor and just like fighting with a spoon. And there was some really funny ones. There was something with mean in character, but it was really funny.
Oh, it's funny though. Yeah. No, we had a lot of fun with that. Basically, rules wise, it was just the abilities that you have got. A lot of us were given things like the necklace and stuff, but really it was more vibes. It was make it cool. We were literally told, make it cool. If 2 people are having this really big, over the top fight together, you don't need to run in and stop anything because this is cool for people to watch. Have fun, make it cool, and that's what we essentially did. Our group stayed in quite long actually. Until it got to like the end. I was like, it was when I got taken out at the end, I basically I kind of went down. I got rendered, that was it. Somebody rendered me. Yeah. And I went down. And then that took me straight out. And then our healer in our group just came running over and he's like, don't worry, I've got you, and started sewing me up. And he's like, sewing me up, and then someone took him and I was, oh no. And then it was just like, and I'm like, and I went back and I was like, and then like I get surrounded by people and they all went, well, and they were like, do you yield? And I was like, and then I see the aspect of the warrior, wasn't it?
Yeah, the challenger.
Challenger. Yeah. I see the challenger is looking over me standing and I'm like, I see my like only healer on the ground away over there. And I was like, I think, yes, I yield. And then the challenger goes, yes, that's a good choice. And it helps me up and then walks me out to the side and passes me on to be healed outside. And I got to do a load of cool healing outside the thing. And then, Yeah, the
challenger kind of gave us a rundown.
Okay.
But again, there was like so many of us that it was like, it was difficult to figure out what was going on. So we did get a rundown of like what the tournament was.
Yeah.
I didn't really grasp the rules. But so should we move on to then what happened?
Yeah. So we'd all done the fight, and there were still the final champions in there fighting, and we were all in the crowd, and then we start to encounter something in the crowd. Yeah,
we all start getting stabbed in the crowd, right? So the what did they have on them? They had like a certain scarf with like an eye on, didn't they?
They had was it red scarves with eyes?
Yeah,
it was something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So then we all start getting like a few of us start getting jobbed in the crowd, and then there's like scuffles in the crowd. And we killed, we end up.
But they were like
people.
Poisoning people, weren't they?
Yeah, they were.
Literally poisoning people. So they needed like They needed the like top level of healers, like Maz. Yeah. we needed Maz at that point.
Oh no, I changed to water weaving. Yeah. Oh, that would have been hilarious.
So cute. That
would have been so funny.
Sorry, yeah.
One of the threads died. The Morvalis?
The Morvalis thread died, yes.
Thread just went, just died of poison. We're like, okay, what? Okay.
They come back, right?
Yeah. There was a few threads died, right? There was the Portavast thread that like it got killed. There was another one.
It's not funny.
It was quite funny.
The story.
We only heard this secondhand, right? Do you remember it? Yeah. Tell it, because you told me, and I thought it was hilarious. I'm
trying to remember exactly what happened because I heard it like out of character and like secondhand that they accidentally killed a thread.
Yeah.
Because they had, that's it. They had like staggered them or something and expected them to go a different way, but instead the thread ended up in with them and just got taken out.
Yeah, just basically just push the thread into the swords.
They accidentally threw a thread into the swords.
Whoops.
That happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
But yeah,
so then,
so the assassins that came out. So then we had like this kind of sort of cinematic scene, which again it was quite difficult to tell. It's difficult in a big LARP like that to be like, this is the story. I think they did an all right job. But yeah, we had like there was like a person came up with one of the members of like the Bankers Guild,
yeah,
and then just like slaughtered them in front of us. And then they were like there was a bit of a monologue from some people about who this person was, and they were to do with I'm explaining this really badly because I don't understand what went on.
Yeah.
It was apparently from like it was someone who was a champion or something, and something to do with the history of Aldwraith.
Yeah, because it was all like on the history of Aldwraith and on this particular tourney and about, how it involves the terror and
Someone
things like
explain in the comments
Explain to us.
because I can't. It's a while since this event happened. And I can't quite remember. But then they challenged the three champions of the tournament to a fight,
and it looked badass.
It looked really cool.
It was cinematic.
Yeah.
The smoke coming out, the way they were fighting, it was like, oh God, they're going to kill them all,
Yeah. So, but then we were victorious. I think it was an Avereaux person that actually won. What was one of the main winners, which was cool. We were then that was supposed to be like the reveal for this new villain, right?
Yeah.
Called
The Terror.
The Terror, right? So we now have the Fallen, the Void, and the Terror, right? I think information got out beforehand because we were like, there was whispers of the Terror like before.
Well, that was, it was weird because there was people saying something about a terror before that.
Yeah.
And someone said that they heard something in a weaving. But then like we already knew about the terror from histories because the history of this tourney, people were talking about
the terror, right, okay.
And it was all a bit,
Yeah. What I couldn't link was like, I couldn't figure out the link between the Terror and the person that showed up to the tournament.
Yeah, actually. I'm not sure on that. Or if there was a link.
Yeah.
I'm assuming there was, but yeah.
Well, I'm assuming I didn't know where that person came from. But anyway, like, let us know in the comments the actual story there because I missed it again. It's I think every single event I've missed the main. Like I remember the first event, I was like, we're helping the scholar. Can't remember what for.
Well, we're helping them.
Helping. I'm the main character in my story. All right.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, that was
it's quite good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Mas told me this brutal thing that she did as Lucille, though. I think it's brutal.
What?
She won't mind me retelling it.
What?
She's healing people, and she's obviously this like master physician. And there's not many of them around that are able to heal this poison that was happening. And she had 2 people in front of her on the ground, and she only had time physically to heal one of them. She basically said to a person that was there with them, with everybody, went, pick which one. She made them pick. And he picked. And then she saved that person. Meanwhile, the family and the friends of the other one are begging and begging. It's not funny.
Well, I mean.
And they died. And then she finished it. And then turned to the person and went, that was a choice you made.
Georgie put the burden directly on the person who made the choice. I love that. That's hilarious.
And I was like, what? They should tell me this in character. And I'm like breaking character. I'm like, Maz, are you serious?
Why? I mean,
it's brutal.
Why else do we laugh other than to explore these types of decisions?
Oh my gosh. But yeah, that happened. Yeah, that kind of takes us to the
that was the finale. Yeah,
of our event actually.
Yeah. I mean, there was definitely other bits and pieces that we did. We did a Kaylee. We did a Kaylee. The Kaylee dance was really nice.
Yeah.
Just little moments like that. I enjoyed having fun with our like Cyrodian friends.
I made a group of friends in Portovis with all the air weaving stuff to help a dinosaur.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Oh yeah, the dinosaur thing that you did. Yeah. That was cool. But that I think that was an augury, and I think the weaving is still to happen, right?
Weaving's still to happen for that, yeah.
Yeah. So I went again. I have some ideas for what I'm going to do with the griffin stuff. I have some ideas of what I'm going to do with the vampire stuff. So I honestly I had there was a couple of ups and downs during the event, but I think like I had a really good time.
Yeah.
I had a really good event because it's crazy when I'm thinking of all these little things that we did as well, and I don't want to stretch the podcast out forever, but we did lots of little things that made these characters really good. I think I feel like I did more in one event as my Avereaux character than I did in like 3 as my Baldro character.
I feel like our dynamic and our relationships between one another were really well established really quickly in this one, which was a lot of fun. Martin constantly, that's my sister. We got such a cool vibe just as a group together really quickly, which was just, it worked out really well.
Yeah.
Especially the way we kept splitting off. We were almost like this little, we went in as our Robin Hood sort of group, but we turned into a little bit of a Scooby gang with like, you and Martin and Vulpa and Lucille going off and doing their little individual things and then coming back at night,
Oh, there's one thing that broke my heart.
Yeah?
Yeah. Valdrave came around and they were talking about their dragon. I was like, oh, cool, your dragon. First of all, Valdrave, they were like, oh yeah, we're like, we've got this dragon egg. And I'm like, oh, that sounds really interesting, a dragon egg. They're like, oh yeah, we've got it with us. And I'm like, okay, why have you got it with you? Oh, we have to like cradle it and do this and sing to it. And I'm like, haven't you built a hatchery? I've just heard that you built a hatchery. Surely you should keep it in the hatchery. I mean, it's not my dragon, not my business, not my nation.
We wouldn't know anything about it.
And then someone was like, who was apparently a chronicler or something, which was more insult to injury. And this wasn't I think this just wasn't done on purpose at all to wind me up. I think they just genuinely had got the wrong information. They were like, oh yeah, I was like, oh, that's really interesting. Like, how did you get the dragon egg? Like, I'm obviously like prompting here. They're like, oh yeah, I think this group like sacrificed themselves. I think they were called, and they named this group that wasn't us. And they were like, yeah, they're this group, and they're awesome. Like, great, cool.
That's really great.
I'm glad my legacy has lasted.
That's
not even an event.
Great.
Not even an event, and they've forgotten about us.
They're like, oh yeah, it's the blue and yellow group and Baldriath that did it. We're like,
yeah,
okay. We're gonna go back to Avereaux.
no shade on that player, but it was just a like, oh my heart type thing.
Gosh, there it goes.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
So they're truly dead now, those characters. So yeah, no, I had
those characters from the Knights of the Last Gift.
The Knights of the Last Gift. Saviors of Valdrave. But no, I had a great time. And as a year wrap up, Menhir's Fate I think was a resounding success. There's little tweaks and things like that they can do for the game. But really, rules are rules and whatever. They just got to. It's just for ease of play, but basically, the vibe check was good. We went to every single event.
We went to all of them, and honestly, so many people have asked and been like, "Well, what do you think? We're maybe thinking of going next year. We're maybe going to get a group together and stuff." And honestly, I've said to everyone, this is a game for everyone.
Yeah.
Like if you are brand new and have never LARPed before, it's set up for you.
Yeah.
If you've been LARPing for a very long time, there is a place in there for you. If you've been out of the LARP game for a long time, want to come back into it, like there is something there for everyone at all sorts of levels.
There's definitely I will say for me, because I play Empire and now this one as my Fest LARPs, Empire and this game are very different, but what's been good is that I have kind of character assessed people that I know, friends of mine and family members that I think would like to LARP, and some of them I'm like, you know what, Empire is definitely your game, and some of them I'm like, don't do Empire, come to Menhir's.
Yeah, because
you're just like they offer two different things, and I think that they would be a different vibe for new people coming in. So I'm glad they both exist.
They both definitely need to exist, because like you just said, I can literally the friends that we've got, I can literally push them into each different one, and they can go do something in there.
Yeah. Good. Right, cool. That wraps up the year of Menhir's.
Yeah.
First year of Menhir's. Can't wait for year 2 in 2026, which will be, I think the first one is like Easter time, isn't it?
Yeah, I remember Easter
after
time.
that,
I think
it's after like the first Empire.
Yeah.
Great. So, should we wrap this up?
Yeah.
Fantastic. If you have been watching us on YouTube, give us a thumbs up, click subscribe. If you enjoyed these episodes, let us know down in the comments. Please let us know if we've missed anything or we've got rules wrong, all that type of stuff. Put that down in the comments. If you're interested in coming to Menhir's Fate, our referral code is in the description and the show notes if you want to get some money off your first ticket. Give us the stars on the audio platforms. You can go check out other ways to support us down in the description and the show notes as well. We will be having more and more content for Empire and for Menhir's. We've got some games next year as well that we want to go do that aren't Menhir's or Empire as well. We're looking forward to them. As we start approaching the end of this year, there are still a few more episodes to come this year. But for Menhir's Fate and from us, it's see you later. Stay safe, everyone. Bye-bye. We love you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.